What's up, IGN? Joshua Yale here, and somewhere beneath this ginger beard is Chris Carl.
It is indeed.
We just got some news for the Walking Dead spin-off show that's going to be set right here in our city in LA. What do you think of the setting for this spin-off show?
Well, it's interesting because we've previously heard that this might be set in more of a prequel era. So depending on what they do, this may be set at the time of the outbreak. So
in the original Walking Dead, Rick just woke up and it was already post-outbreak. So now we actually
Right.
see them trying to contain it and dealing with it. And
there's
learning about it.
that moment prior to the outbreak where he gets shot, then he goes to sleep for a while, wakes up, and full-on zombie apocalypse. So if truly it's set during that kind of phase, well, it's interesting because I think LA is very, very interesting in terms of zombie outbreak. Less so interesting if the zombies haven't outbroken yet because there's just so many people here.
Yeah. If this was the same Rick situation where it's just already post-zombie apocalypse, it would just be just gridlock traffic everywhere, zombies stuck in their cars.
I'm wondering if, and like we said, we don't know for sure that it's prequel. We don't know for sure if it's dealing with the outbreak. But if it is, you know, it kind of takes that off the table, differentiates itself a little bit from the other Walking Dead series, which I think they're probably pretty conscious of. Like, it may be a thing where they don't want to be, you know, in another big population center. Although LA's got a lot more population than Atlanta does.
Yes, LA has like 18 million people
18 million,
in the metropolitan area, and Atlanta has 5 million. So we're gonna get like World War Z level amounts of zombies all over the place.
Or we aren't, but I mean, my hope, and it's weird because it's like I'm kind of a little bit conflicted because my hope is that we get to see the scale of zombies like that. But at the same time, if they do that, if they just do another zombie outbreak in a big city, is that, you know, too similar to what we've seen with the other show?
I feel like you could do different things in LA because it's a very different place. And what I like about the show is that it takes people and puts them in post-apocalyptic world where they don't have all the same resources we do. If you don't have the same resources we currently do in LA, like an unmaintained LA becomes a desert. There's no water here. So if all that infrastructure breaks down, we really just have people like trying to survive with like literally nothing to keep them going. I think that's like an interesting thing that they could play with. There's different settings here. I keep thinking of like the La Brea tar pits over here. We're gonna get tar pit zombies. There's gonna be zombies on like the Walk of Fame and stuff. And there's iconic locations. There's lots of different like geographic things. There's like mountains here, you know, or giant hills at least.
Well, you're contending with an ocean for one thing, you know, like the ocean is
beach
an interesting,
zombies.
It's an interesting dynamic because, you know, even in things like Planet Terror, I'm gonna drop that back from the old Grindhouse thing. Their whole goal was to make it to the ocean because you can put your backs to the sea and face, you know, the zombie horde and build out from there. So
zombie mermaids.
Zombie mermaids, because real mermaids exist. And it would just be an extension of that.
Anything could happen. Hey, they want to flavor this spin-off up.
Yeah, so, you know, what do you think about it being, what do you think it would be like if it was actually the prequel set here? Like, if it's not full-on outbreak, do you think they're wasting an opportunity then?
Do I think they're wasting opportunity?
Well, let's say, you know, if it is a show about the outbreak, you may, you know, it may be before we actually start to see these huge hordes. Do you think that's a missed opportunity if they're going to set it in LA?
So it would be a long time before we saw big zombie hordes, is what you're saying. You know, I think that's fine because we've seen so much already, like 4.5 seasons of zombie hordes and like them trying to get into like the prison and like building up on that fence, remember, and just cities full of zombies and stuff. So I think it'd be interesting to see like it'd bring a new sense of like tension and like panic of people like, what is this, like trying to figure out what's going on, trying to find scientific reasoning, religious reactions, just, you know, trying to, you know, see I think that's, you know, it's like Outbreak, you know, the movie Outbreak with the monkey and everything.
with the monkey one. Yeah, I mean,
see a lot of hazmat suits, I imagine. It'll be great.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's definitely its own sort of microcosm, so you could do a lot of different stuff there. But yeah, I'm personally, now that we've talked about it more, I'm like, I really want to see that it actually like spark, and like, where do you go from a situation where you've got 3 times the potential amount of zombies in Atlanta? And I think even the original series didn't explore Atlanta that much. It's like they finally like have gotten back there now, but like they were kind of there, and everybody's like, we need to get out of here. It's like the equivalent of like, we need to get to Bakersfield, or we need to get to Palm Desert, or something like that. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I guess we'll see how it plays out. But what are you disappointed about?
You know, I like the idea of LA as a setting, but I don't love it. It's not like, ooh, I can't like wait for that.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of creative stuff they can do. So like, I'll watch the show. But you know, I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if it was like abroad?
Yeah.
Because there's like a throwaway line in the first episode, the pilot episode, where they say, oh, in France they might have a cure or something. I was like, I want to know what's going on in
Over
France.
there,
Yeah, and just, you know, in other countries and stuff, see how it's affecting people there. Like, what about you? Like, where did you want to see it?
I want to see it. And this is too expensive to shoot. And I think that's actually one of the reasons that LA makes sense, is that you've got a lot of studio backlots that look like LA. You can eventually go to places like that are in the hills, you know, more desert areas. That is a lot easier to shoot than even going on location in Atlanta. But the place I would love to see, and it's never going to happen, is snow. I'd love to see what happens to zombies in snow. I think it was the book World War Z, and I could be mistaken, but I think it was the book there. They actually were like trying to gravitate towards colder environments because the zombies slow down, they freeze.
Yeah.
There's that whole element, but then there's that whole like almost like night and day of someplace like Canada where it eventually thaws, you know, and then all these zombies wake up again, and then you have to deal with like the disparity of the seasons. I think that could be interesting to explore as well.
Very, very interesting. So those are our thoughts on the setting of the Walking Dead spinoff. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and for all things Walking Dead, keep it right here on IGN.